Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin with censorship, westernization running rampant throughout the entertainment industry, especially when it comes to anime and manga and remakes of video games. To be against this censorship would be a positive, would be a good thing, unless, of course, your personal beliefs and ideology says that censorship is a good thing. Now, some would see that as hypocritical, but others, I personally see it as hypocritical. And, well, that's the case in this lovely little article from John F. Trent from That Park Place, where he brings up Dragon Quest III HD-2D remake reportedly removes Puff Puff encounter from the game. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what Puff Puff meant. And, well, as of right now, I had to re-record the video once I found out what it meant and went, oh, it changes a little bit of what I was talking about prior, but does not change my idea, my personal belief that censorship, regardless of whether I agree with it or not, censorship should not happen, especially when you are remaking a classic game or adapting anime and manga. These things should not be westernized. You leave them as they were originally made, remaster the graphics, make them look prettier, make them play better, but ultimately you should let the customer decide on what they should allow their children, allow themselves to play, instead of trying to be the end-all, be-all arbiter on what is good and what is not. But let's see what John has to say. New report details that Square Enix removed the Puff Puff encounter. So let me explain what Puff Puff massage is. Apparently, a Puff Puff massage is in reference to a woman's breasticles, using those breasticles on a man's shoulder to give them a massage or rubbing them across his face. And Puff Puff is supposed to be the sound that makes. Now, if you were going to show this activity or describe this activity in a game for children, you might have a leg to stand on. But when most people don't even know what a Puff Puff massage is, I had to look it up myself. Well, then we're going to disagree on whether or not that censorship is good or not. If you're unfamiliar, and that's another thing, John, you probably should have gone into exactly what it is, okay? Maybe a little bit of description to get people to understand why you consider it such an illicit activity. If you are unfamiliar with the Puff Puff encounter, the hero and his party encounter a dancer, who John calls a prostitute, in the streets of Asham at night. She offers to give the hero a Puff Puff massage, free of charge, and escorts him to her room. Upon entering the room, the hero lays down on the bed. He is offered to take a seat on the bed, as per the dialogue in the video I'm going to show you. And the lights are turned off. Now, why on earth would they turn the lights off? Well, the lights are turned off in order to trick the player into into not seeing what is actually happening. The massage then takes place. However, once the lights are turned on, it is revealed that the father of the dancer is the one giving the massage. Oh, heaven forbid. Let's see. Dad gave it away again. Let's back it up right here so we can see the actual dialogue. Why don't you have a seat on the bed? Now, because of graphical restraints, it looks like the player is laying down. Well, I guess the player is laying down. Let's turn the lights off because he got under the blanket. Okay, fair enough. The massage happens, but towards the end of it, it is revealed that the father is the one that apparently, if he's given the Puff Puff massage, and it is an actual Puff Puff massage, that's a chunky dude. Maybe Boogie's the one that gave him the massage. I'm sorry. That was terrible of me. How do your shoulders feel? That is the actual dialogue. I just couldn't resist playing a joke, perhaps. It is left up to, how do your shoulders feel now? I believe it is left up to the players in a comical scene in a video game to decide what could have happened there. Is there anything in the dialogue to make it look like it's prostitution, something rather naughty, nasty, and illicit? Perhaps a massage with a happy ending? I don't see anything. Regardless of that, you make your own judgment. You make your own judgment, make your own decision on what is happening. However, to condemn the entire thing, while many will likely decry this as censorship and something to be opposed, the opposite is actually true. And that's where I have the problem here. I do not think you should be cheering on changes, censorship in a remake or in an adaptation or in a westernization of anything. Leave it for the customer to decide. To cheer on said censorship, regardless of anything you say after this, you are pro-censorship. Regardless of the numerous articles you've written about Stellar Blade being censored and being opposed to it, regardless of the articles where you're talking about manga and anime and the westernizations, the changes to the dialogue, well, none of those matter because you are clearly in favor of censorship, regardless of whatever moral beliefs you have. The idea of being anti-censorship is across the board. Make it the customer's decision. The scene in question is clearly degenerate. Now, I will disagree with that, being clearly degenerate, because in the statement, unless you know what a puff puff massage is, you don't understand the possibility of it being degenerate. She even asks him, "How do your shoulders feel?" Sees the player engaging in illicit activity, namely prostitution, and with the hero being tricked into doing something with the dad, engaging in homosexual activities. No, I have to disagree because there was nothing in that scene that came across in that manner. It was called a massage. She asked him how his shoulders felt. Didn't sound like a happy ending to me. To put that idea out there, to put that idea into the game, I see that as a you problem, not a game problem, not a writer's problem. And that being said, I do not believe anything. The scene should not be taken out. It's part of the game. It's comical at best. At worst. Not at best. It's comical at worst that the father snuck in while the lights were out to give the player the massage. Unfortunately, well, the lights came on, the ruse was found out, and well, the dancer doesn't get any return traffic. Now, if you do know what a puff puff massage is, I would think that it makes the scene even more comical. But I guess John F. Trent doesn't see it that way. Both of these actions are clearly, he does use that word a lot, clearly degenerate, clearly immoral and wrong, based on your own ideas and ideology. Not necessarily the same ideals and ideology that others will agree with. And that's okay. But to come out in favor of censorship across in any way, shape, or form, it has a tendency to discredit you when you write articles in other sections of your website against censorship. So which one is it, John F. Trent? Are you pro-censorship? Are you anti-censorship? Or is it only when it suits the needs of your ideals? Again, I have a problem with that, and I always will. The key focus, the key thing about being anti-censorship is that you stand up and allow people to say and write and draw and perform whatever and however they want with consenting adults in some situations, especially when it comes to prostitution, with consenting adults making their own choices, regardless of whether you agree or disagree with them, because one day they're going to come for you. And who's going to stand with you in your anti-censorship stance when you are clearly pro-censorship in this case? But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.